Keep an eye on that one, Roland.
Thank you.
Yep. Go ahead, continue, my man, though. You were on point, dude.
Green Bay that I just didn't play this morning, but I liked the macro pattern going on this morning early for sure. Real quick though, so there's basically just power financing. It behooves these institutional investors, your HC Wainwrights and these guys. These are the biggest players in small cap, by the way. These people, the people who are running these financings for these penny stock companies. So what they do is they get convertible notes in which they get to convert the debt into shares of the company at a discount to the lowest. Oftentimes it's going to be a discount. Oh, nice little push on NBSE. It's going to be a discount to VWAP. All right. So they're always, and so because of this, they get more and more shares because the price in which they can convert shares is adjustable. The lower the price of the stock gets, the more shares that they end up getting to dump. And that's why we keep seeing these things doing splits and then going back to $1, going back to 10 cents. This is a tale as old as time, dude. If you guys go back to the original tops, TOPS, and just scroll back on the chart, any period of time, you're going to see splits, some pops too. They do it and then they drop. Splits, pops, and drop. And we're seeing that again. And it's death spiral financing. It's some of the worst. Now these aren't tops, okay? They were a super, super extreme example where I didn't touch it after a while because it was so bad. But because there's a cycle to it, it becomes predictable. So my goal right now is two things in terms of kind of macro ideas on strategies for me going forward into next 3 months. If this can continue, this could fucking change tomorrow. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it's going to. And I look at NVOS, right? You can see down to 7, then they get a 2-day run, but from 7 to 24 is 200%, you guys. It's almost 300%. Okay. Now I'm not saying I'd have it at 7, but the 10 cent area on a lot of these stocks. My goal right now is looking for 1-2-day runs on some of these loads that I've been looking at. But look what these things do, and they're very, very similar. They trade huge volume. They like to pull almost back to lows. So you have to understand they're going to shake out 50% from your entry if you're a chaser, right? They're going to shake a lot more than you would think. There may be more buys there, but ultimately hopefully will set up for breakouts, actual breakouts that you can trade, like NVOS, the 24-cent breakout. I don't personally really like trading the 35-cent breakout and stuff like that. The more legs up, in other words, the more dangerous it becomes. Remember, someone likely has a bunch of shares, millions and millions of them now at 10 cents or something. It's already kind of filled the gap if you go back to October of last year, it looks like there was an offering there. But that becomes the idea. Don't get too greedy. The idea is not to take these things to $3 unless it's really, really clean. Even NVOS right now on this pull day is holding levels. We haven't seen this in a long time.
Hey, Roland, real quick, UPTP, keep an eye on that one as well. I've seen some accumulation right here. Keep going though, brother.
Yep. So that's the idea, guys. Understand that there's some macro patterns going on right now. I don't want to be too greedy. I'm going to be trying to figure out ways to swing some of these very cheap bottom bouncers, because those are the best plays, man, in terms of especially small accounts. If you guys can if this continues and you can figure this out, I've been speaking one-on-one with some of you trying to get dialed in a little bit today. But if you can kind of get this sorted for yourself right now, that's stupid money that can be made. If this continues, again, it could fucking change tomorrow. I really hope it doesn't. And the way things are, I think that they are 10 cents is a key level for compliance. All right. If they stay under 10 cents for long enough, they're fucked too. They get another delisting notice on top of probably their original delisting notice for being under $1 for however much time. Okay. So NVOS is a good example. They haven't been under $1 for a long time. They've made compliance for a little while. Okay. But now they got under a buck, 6-8 months ago, things get kind of tricky. They're going to have to start making moves. Lot of dilution, I'm sure, throughout that period of time. You can go back and figure that out. And I believe once they're done converting all the shares, at least temporarily, that they want to convert, that I believe that they are the ones running algorithms on these bottom bouncers. I think they're supporting them via algorithmic trading and whatever else the fuck they're doing over at these HC Wainwrights and the big players there. They know what the fuck's up. They're dry. I don't believe it's just small cap people buying and short sellers being squeezed at this point, So that's kind of the idea for me on these bottom bouncers. And I do believe they run this shit. Like right now they're running them. Whatever they're doing, they're holding lows, and it's volume too. It's not a little bit of volume. That's the whole thing. It's hundreds and hundreds of millions of shares. Granted, they're cheap, so people too, myself included, are trading more shares at a time. But liquidity is certainly there on a lot of them.
Roland, I posted a picture. I was wrong. I was not looking at the correct time frame there. I have the exact same prints you do on Schwab there.
Indeed. See? I don't know what it is.
That is bizarre.
I think they're just late prints. I don't know where from though, because the whole thing about those prints for me is like, it didn't hit those. It hit the prices the previous day, but they're random points in the chart. They're not like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's just like no volume reading underneath them at all. So weird.
I haven't been looking too much into it.
It kind of freaks me out because I actually play off some of those wicks when I see them in the pre-market sometimes.
Why is E-Lock on my scan? That one always gets my attention. That one runs super light. Back in April, May, July, when volume comes in on that for some reason, it likes to go to $10. If it's anywhere near, $4, it likes to go to 10. It's already at 575 is my issue. And it's very illiquid, 87,000 shares. Oh, that's because now I'm at $250,000 volume on my scan right now. It's pretty standard. All right. NBSE holding up really decently. My whole thing is on something like that, I gotta be long from $140s, $150s. Personally, I don't trade this shit up here. I don't trade it into VWAP either. Maybe mid $150s, that last level before it gets up and through VWAP. But once we get into $170, $175, $180, it's not worth the squeeze for me personally. Something like NBSE, very much so would need $150s personally. Now, that's how I like to do it. If you want to have tight risk up here, that's fine. It's just, for me, it becomes somewhat arbitrary. For me, I should be taking some profits right now. That's how I like to look at those plays. And then I don't end up ever getting fucked around at $170 and now it's at $130 tomorrow or something. Could it?
Yeah, I'm in at that higher low on 155, so I'm just kind of holding.
That is exactly it right there for me. And then you could risk low a day with small size. I could risk like $150, $152, $153, have something arbitrary if I want. With bigger
We've been catching these. We've been catching these, dude.
They've been nice. Yeah, they've been nice and poking.
Yeah, yesterday we caught AVTX at 19 cents, and my first scales were like at 30%. Right now, I'm looking for 175. I'm still holding, looking for 175. Hopefully that breaks 175, and then we see high a day towards. I'm just holding since I'm in below VWAP. But yesterday, dude, we nailed AVTX at like 19 cents, and the thing ran all the way to 27 cents. So I'm just kind of paying attention because we are getting liquidity back in power hour.
Yeah, we're getting liquidity and we're getting support,
Okay.
dude. They're being supported. Like they're not. But that being said, we've had quite a few that obviously have just faded off into the nighttime sky.
Yeah, you got to be very selective on which ones you pick.
And more than selective, just cut, man. Just make sure you guys who are not trading off of lows or anywhere near lows, basically the rule of thumb for me, for you guys, especially the newer ones, if you can be getting it under VWAP and selling it over VWAP, from a very basic standpoint, that's where it's at these days, always. I'm dip buying in the mornings under VWAP. I'm dip buying in the afternoons under VWAP. Everyone's waiting for the opposite. They need to see the VWAP hold, and then risk reward is minimized the closer and closer we get to high day. That being said, so I'm still trading kind of pre-market high breakouts as any other breakout as like shitty to me. I'm looking at something like NVOS after it's consolidated after a week or two. Very settled breakout strategies have been working nicely on the bottom bouncers. But it doesn't mean I'm going to be trading a bunch of random intraday high day breaks and shit. And the problem for some of you guys, you just really do need to rewire. And if you're not playing off a low a day or a higher low, like at the end of the day that it was one of the higher lows and you're not trading up high in these charts, that's what you need to do. You need to get disciplined and settle into positionally trading. Don't think that you can fucking read the tape right now because you've listened to Mr. French for 2 days. Get the fuck out of here. Are you fucking kidding me, you guys? No, listen, and I'm not trying to damper anything. It's super valuable. But understand, if you think that you are going to trade right now based off of what you're seeing in the tape on all parts of the chart, you're being silly, because not even Mr. French is doing that. In fact, he's doing very, very, very much not that. Okay? He's using the tape combined with everything else that he sees, and he's fucking good at it. And he sees things, I promise you. If you've been watching tape for 3 days and you think that, it's like the Matrix where you just fucking plug the thing in and you know Kung Fu, it's not that, dude.
I've told him that, dude. I said, dude, it's going to take like fucking a year. It's going to take you fucking...
It'll take you a year because you get to watch Mr. French and me speak about trading, and specifically his tape sessions. So it might take you a year if you're lucky, right? How long did it take you, Frenchie?
Oh, dude, I stared at it for 6 months straight and I still couldn't get it. And then like after a year, the light bulb kind of went off, but I watched so many videos and was like, what the fuck is a hidden seller? What is a hidden buyer? What is it needs to break these key levels? What the fuck is this? And so I just paid attention to it probably about a year and a half, where I actually started to see it, but it's been probably 6 years now that I've been reading tape. 5 years. 5 years.
5 years, exactly. I'd agree with that. That's when I started getting anything meaningful from the tape myself. After a while, I literally staring at it, looking for, dude, I used to just love watching tape, bro. It made me happy. I think it still makes Mr. French happy.
I love it.
And you know what? You gotta love it.
Funny as shit.
You gotta love it. But at the same time, you guys, for those who are trying to get your foothold in trading right now, we need to minimize the trading. I've been speaking with some of you who are just fucking all over the goddamn place. You know what I mean? And for some of you, it's for a lot of you, we really have to narrow the focus. And if nothing else, make sure that we're acting upon, that we're watching tape and learning in the spots and areas where we know that we're going to be participating anyways. You know what I mean?
Here?
Yeah. Y'all need to have the correct fucking perspective all the time. Have the correct perspective. Use the tools that are at your disposal, which are pretty fucking special in here right now, in my opinion. help each other, you know, all that good shit. But then understand, like, you want to make money at the end of the day. So we need to develop a process that's going to work for you. And a
Roland, there goes
big part of that is understanding the basics of risk reward and the macro. Okay, zooming out and seeing where these charts are realistically going to go, figuring out how to buy low and sell high. We have to fucking do that. We have to. Okay. A lot of you have been kind of getting away from it, and I get it, man, because we're in a market. Listen, we are in a market that is much more primed for more chasey ideas. I get that for sure, dude. Even myself right now, specifically myself, I am trying to open up my floodgates to a slew of old strategies that I haven't fucking traded in a long time, but I'm down to because that's trading to me. Capitalize on it's capital. So here, quickly for me, it's either so like breakouts. I'm going to be aggressively hitting them when I see specific setups, a la NVOS, AXLA, AVTX if it sets up at a certain point. Some of these tickers that are doing heavy volume and setting up for multi-day breakouts, I'll be trading heavily. And sorry, 1 second.
Real quick, Roland.
Yep,
UPDT, it's looking like it's reversing for a squeeze. Just keep an eye on that one as well, guys.
I see. Okay. Anyways, we got to have the right perspective, y'all. Some of you need to bring the trading frequency down some. Some of you need to pick like myself, need to pick the trading frequency up some, right? We're all in different parts of our journey. Some of you just need to figure out how to not lose all your money all the time. Some of you have to get right down to basics and rebuild a platform, right? Which we're working with a lot of you on that stuff. My newer traders, we got to figure out some of these strategies and stuff. And you have to fall prey to your instincts over and over again. It is going to happen. But we're trying to give you a better platform on which to learn. You're not going to come in just because you're in this room or with anyone or anything and like have good psychology. You're just not. We're not wired to do that. Sorry. Most of us. Some are wired better than others. But most of us are not wired to be the ideal trader because you know what the ideal trader is? Kind of a combination of everything at the end of the day. You know, if I could take some of my male traders and some of my female traders and combine them, like kind of the gambly aspect of them and then the risk management aspect of some of my women, but they're a little too afraid. And this is just in general. I got some gunslinging women in here, some bad women just gunslinging who I need to try to tame. And then I've got the same with men. I got some men who are, so it's not across the lines like that. But in general, most of us are going to come in either too afraid or too gunslingy. And all of us are going to fall prey to the fact that we think because a stock is spiking, we need to be in it. Right? That's going to be the main thing we're going to fight is FOMO right off the bat. And being lost, but wanting to make money, but being clueless. So through that period of time, we need to trade small. We need to learn what the fuck's going on. We need to understand the macro shit first. Okay? Before you can understand anything in the tape, have you looked at the daily chart? What patterns are working? What has been working and not working? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get some of you away from the minute charts because you're too fucking schizophrenic, much less watching a red print come through on tape for 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares or 100,000 shares, right? So we're all in different parts of our journey. Some of you need to really, really bear down on the charts and understand that we have to get our entries way better, which means a total rewiring. Some of us are like ready with all of that shit to go to the next level, you know, in terms of their ability to add tools to their arsenal and stuff like that. So because of that, we've got everyone in different levels and we've got something for everyone in this motherfucker now, man. You know, that's my goal. And my goal for all of you listening is for you to be able to, at some point, help the people below you. And if we can keep that kind of culture in here, you guys, it'll be super special. Because the teaching the speaking, it helps us. It does. It helps. It helps you to teach always. Everything in life, it's helped me to teach people. It's helped me get better. And the attitude is becoming infectious with everybody, it seems. You know, the one-on-one shit has been a game changer, man. Fucking game changer. So, and the main thing I've been talking to you guys is like, fuck, dude, you know, it's weird because it's like online, everyone's a chat and a screen name and a little picture, you know? Like, it's so not personal. But here it's different, and the reason it's different is because we're trying to make it different. Everyone wants to help. Everyone's trying. It's not just a place to pump. In fact, it's not a place to pump whatsoever. Pumpers, like if someone's pumping in here, it's so easy to call out a pumper for us who have been around a long time, you know? So it's great. I'm fucking happy. But at the end of the day, the one thing I want for everyone is and it's not going to be everyone, but I believe we can buck that trend in here. I believe that we can buck that trend if it's like 99% failure rate or whatever the fuck. I know we can do it. I know we can do it because I had basically done that with our original tiny group in terms of the amount of great traders that came out of it and the amount of people that were originally in it. So we can do it. At the end of the day, it's up to you guys. I've seen a lot of questions. Obviously, I've been, some of you are new and stuff like that, but if you haven't watched the original guide, it is the prequel to the guide that's coming out, to the first chapter, obviously, and then more today. So like throughout the next few days, it will be up. And you need to start with the other one. Because I purposefully don't cover all the shit that I covered in the last one because I don't want to waste your fucking time. They're two totally separate guides. It's more of an update and newer strategies, all the things that I've learned since 2018, 17, which how much have I learned? An undescribable amount of things, all right? An indescribable. But it's all built upon the first one. And a bunch of you people I do see, like you're just in here just kind of listening and not watching any of the shit. Please start there. If you haven't watched it, I tried to make it somewhat pleasant to watch and not boring as fuck and not ragged as fuck. So please take that. Everything that you're going to see over the next few days is all built upon that stuff. I still trade that same exact fucking process. I still scan the same way for the most part. Just the nuances, like we've described, like you heard Mr. French talk about too. But the introduction of algorithmic trading and high frequency trading and small cap changed the game a lot, pattern wise. But I almost honestly like the game a little bit better. It's as much as it's less predictable, it seems to be more predictable. As long as you're coming from the context that you understand that they're fucking retail and everyone long and short. That's the whole thing. So like they're keeping liquidity tied up. They want it to go to high a day and get the liquidity from the top end. They want that. Then they want to use that and they're going to take that liquidity back down to other key levels where they are going to fuck with the liquidity there. It's very much the same as any HFT does on any asset, you know? So if you can think of it from that lens, a lot of the charts will make a lot more sense to you. A lot of the reasons why I've been preaching not to buy high at day breaks intraday on these tickers will make more sense to you for the most part, right? Does that make sense? Yay, nay? Am I talking to myself again?
No, absolutely, dude. I agree with you. I love it. And then I also like, because I understand it, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Like exactly what they're doing. They're pulling liquidity and they bring liquidity back.
Yep.
They use key levels and they trap. I was talking about this earlier. They trap.
They love to trap, bro.
Look at how NBSE fucking went and I didn't even ignore and it came back, hit my stop.
Yep.
No, all good.
Yep.
And they're doing that. They're really giving these things range, lots of just super manipulative games.
Yep.
To where I was up and I didn't secure anything. And I'm like still watching these other ones and I'm like, lots of games, guys.
Yep.
And that's for someone that's advanced.
Exactly.
So I personally feel like you can still make it in the market, but you do have to do your fucking due diligence to study your ass off. And Roland said it. You're not gonna become a tape reader and learn how it's fun, but it's just another tool, just like an EMA, just like volume, just like it's just another tool. And it's your job literally to try to master as much as you possibly can and not eliminate factors just because you don't like them. Utilize every aspect of all the tools they give you. And then as you become better and better as a trader, then you start to eliminate the things that don't work for you, right? And well said, dude. I think I appreciate the fact that you said that's why you teach it, because it makes you a better trader.
Yep.
Dude, I think that's why I love teaching it.
Yep. Well, dude, all these ideas you've been saying in your head to yourself, and now you're getting to say them out loud and see it come to fruition, like in real time. It is pretty cool.
Yeah,
but ultimately, at the end of the day, you're helping a lot of people understand things that otherwise may never figure out. So, because at the end of the day, everything that you see has taken 6 years to learn. At the end of the day, you know what I mean, and longer.
They don't know what they do.
So it's good, dude. It's good. It's really great getting to know some of you cats, man. It's just very easy to, we're all humans, man. We're all humans, and most of us have kids or things in life and aspirations, and fucking no one cares, dude. The markets don't care, but specifically no one in our space actually cares. And instead, we're going to have a room where everyone cares, because no one fucking cares. It's all every man for themselves, or a room where everyone thinks they're on a fucking team pumping shit together or shit like that. Everyone's like, it's either one end of the spectrum or the other. And here's not that. Here's just fucking way better to me.
Roland, keep an eye on UPTD. It's still accumulating. I'm telling you, I've been watching this algo just accumulate this 1193 area. I think we might get a short squeeze on this for this downtrend break. Look at that 15-minute candle.
Yeah, it's got a funky...
Look at that 5-minute candle that just bullish engulfing volume. I think we're going to get a short squeeze on this thing. Yep, there it goes. Yep, short squeeze.
Right.
This is short sell restriction. So once real volume comes in, I think this thing's going to go right back up to 14, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Needs to break this 13 area, but once it breaks that, personally, I think this thing's going to fucking move, because we're just now getting into power hour. And that 5-minute and 15-minute
shit. I got to put my stake in the fridge. Shit.
Another wonky spread too, huh?
I'm not worried about it, dude. I think it's just gonna play games. I added this dip right here.
Right.
I added this dip. I think it's gonna continue to soak up and volume's gonna come in, and yeah, I added that dip right there. Yep, it's getting soaked. You guys see that, right? So it's playing games, and that's normal. That's so normal. And so again, those that at that spot, they're selling. And now real retail and people that haven't seen this are buying up here. So we should see a short squeeze soon. I'm still holding. That volume is giving me a lot. There you go. Look at how it keeps being bullish like that. So I'm just keeping an eye on this, guys. This is going to be my top watch for UPTD. Oh, shit. Never mind. I just took a big loss right there. No big deal. Gave back my entire 3-day K loss on it right there. As I was trying to set up my stop, it just started selling off, and I wasn't able to get out in time. So that kind of fucked me right now. And again, this is the problem with like premature sellers. You get a lot of like retailers that they sell those little pops, and then it causes the algo to recognize there's more selling, and that just sucked right there. I hope that this continues to fall down and not go back up. I just lost $3,000 right there on this. I was adding that dip at 1207, 1212. I was just adding right there, and it just walked me down. CEO, did you just scalp this? Was that you? Did you just scalp fucking UPTD just like that? Because I feel like that's what happened. I felt like people just scalped it, fucking jumped in and got the fuck out. Yeah, I'm gonna get off voice, guys. I hate fucking scalpers. I just can't stand this shit. This sucked. That just caused me a big fucking loss right there. And that's what you get when you get like nice, decent volume, and then you get people scalping right away and they sell the fucking pops, and it's just like, I was trying to set my stop, and unfortunately it broke below my stop, and when I like got out of my position, I literally got dead bottom on this.
So in that situation, you're not even going to bother, waiting for it maybe to push back up. You're just going to get straight out.
He just went up.
Oh, he just left, huh? Okay.
Yeah.